Mick occupied his corner office, encircled by numerous accolades and elegant furnishings. Before immersing ourselves in this compelling story, remember to stay tuned for the word of the day. Comment with it for a chance to win exciting weekly prizes. The sight of the city skyline from his window normally brought him pride, but today it seemed empty. He looked at the employee satisfaction report on his desk, his brow furrowed with worry. How had everything turned out so poorly without his awareness? Could it be that CEOs are often too detached from the everyday reality of their employees? Is it even possible to lead effectively when you're perched so high in the organizational structure? What do you think? There was an alarming 15% decline in employee satisfaction for the third consecutive month at one of his locations in Virginia. There were also numerous complaints regarding a toxic culture, favoritism, and possible racism. These were the warning signs that led TechVision's CEO, Malik Johnson, to make significant changes. Wearing a disguise, he took on the role of a receptionist, intent on experiencing his company from his employees' perspective. For Malik, the choice to go undercover as a receptionist was quite challenging. He was completely cognizant of the risks at stake. If he were found out, it might result in a PR catastrophe and damage trust within the organization. However, as he donned the standard issue uniform and fixed his false mustache, a glimmer of hope sparked. This was his opportunity to reveal the truth and correct the situation. What insights could he gain by merging into the backdrop of his own business? Only time will reveal the truth. His sleek suit and shiny Oxfords, the emblems of his power in meetings, were now exchanged for a regular uniform and worn shoes. The word of the day is transformation. Make sure to comment below with this word to enter our contest. Upon entering the building he had previously governed from the top floor, he experienced a strange blend of excitement and apprehension. This was his business, his vision realized, but today he felt like just an outsider. He was unseen, ordinary, merely another face among many. The heaviness of the phone and the ongoing duties of handling calls and welcoming guests seemed alien to Malik. When he gazed at his image in the glass doors of the lobby, he noticed not a self-assured CEO, but rather a man who seemed uncertain and uncomfortable. No one acknowledged his stare or identified his existence, which hit him with a sudden insight. His initial responsibility was to handle the bustling front desk. While managing phone calls and attending to visitors, he caught snippets of a conversation between two senior managers near the reception. "Did you notice the latest email regarding the new efficiency initiatives?" one inquired. "Absolutely, just what we required. More tasks for lower pay. The customer support team is already stretched thin. That's not our concern. Allow HR to manage the grievances. We have more pressing matters to attend to." The nonchalant indifference towards employee issues struck Malik like a tangible hit. Is ignoring the grievances of employees a necessary evil in business? Or is it the root of all organizational problems? Share your thoughts in the comments. Did he, in any manner, endorse this type of behavior? As the managers departed, oblivious to his real identity, Malik sensed an increasing unease in his stomach. All day long, Malik faced challenges with the tasks he had previously assumed were easy. The switchboard appeared to operate independently, and he found it challenging to manage the influx of guests. However, it wasn't solely the physical obstacles that burdened him. It was the emotional impact of understanding how indifferent the management had grown. In the break room, while he topped up coffee mugs, he caught his management team talking about the condition of the company. Their dialogue was rife with annoyance and a condescending approach to the junior staff. One of them even resorted to insulting the customer service team and included a few curse words as well. The others observed and chuckled at the entire scenario. Malik, conversely, experienced a wave of anger and shame. These were the individuals he had relied upon for his vision, anticipating that they would guide with honesty and compassion. Feeling shocked by what you're hearing? If you think stories like these should spark change, be sure to hit that subscribe button and share this video with 3 people who would appreciate this powerful narrative. Rather, they appeared entrenched in a culture of exclusivity and indifference towards the employees who maintained the company's operations. As the day concluded, Malik discovered an unforeseen supporter in Doris, a veteran receptionist who kindly guided him through the basics. During their break, she exchanged an understanding smile and remarked, "It's merely a job, but don't anticipate anyone up there to pay attention. To them, we don't exist." Malik felt her words like a blow to the stomach. Are employees just invisible cogs in the corporate machine? Or do they carry the heart of the company? Let us know your opinion. He consistently took pride in leading a company where each employee felt appreciated and their efforts recognized. Doris's frank remark created a sharply contrasting image. At the conclusion of his shift, Malik's body felt fatigued from the job's requirements, but the true battle lay in his mind. As he took off his uniform and examined himself, the reflection that gazed back was weary. But beyond that, it was the face of someone who had just faced an unsettling reality. He initiated this covert task to understand his company's processes better and identify opportunities for enhancement. Rather, he had revealed a troubling culture of disregard that penetrated the essence of the organization he had created. The following day, Malik carried on with his new position as a receptionist. As he adjusted to the role, he wished for a distinct experience. The bustling office setting stood in sharp contrast to his typical executive suite, and once more he silently watched the employees nearby. Among the faces he knew was Linda, an essential part of the Virginia management team. Malik was informed by his board members that she was an important asset. Her reputation was built on her effectiveness and pragmatic attitude toward business. As the day went on, he started to observe a troubling trend in Linda's actions. Her dealings with junior staff were quite distinct from the professional manner in which she was described. She spoke sharply, her remarks laced with insults, and her demeanor exuded an attitude of superiority that made Malik uneasy. The pivotal moment occurred when Linda strode over to Malik. Her gaze traversed the front desk, and she released a frustrated sigh. "Is this really how you're managing everything?" she remarked. "I've never witnessed such chaos at the front desk. Documents scattered all over, phones constantly ringing, and you can't even respond to them promptly. It's no surprise this place is deteriorating. It's due to your inability to handle the fundamentals." "You people," Malik pondered. What does that phrase imply? Anger washed over him as her words struck a nerve. He had consistently valued creating a respectful and positive work environment. Yet one of his senior managers was criticizing him for his receptionist responsibilities. The bitterness in her voice and the manner in which she downplayed the role were difficult to connect with. As Linda turned and departed, Malik remained in shock, his heart tight. Close by, Henry, a compassionate IT employee, shared a look with a coworker and remarked, "Don't overthink it. That's simply how she behaves." The impact of Henry's statement struck Malik as if it were a tangible hit. Linda's behavior was not only inappropriate, but it also happened frequently. The awareness that this harmful culture had emerged during his leadership left him feeling betrayed and inadequate. Is the idea of sabotage and manipulation in the workplace more common than we think? Or is this an extreme case? Discuss below. As the day continued, Malik became acutely conscious of the exchanges happening around him. He observed how certain employees appeared to withdraw into themselves when Linda came near, while others took a defensive position. The air was thick with fear and resentment. Malik found it hard to understand why his team had overlooked these signs for such an extended period. While watching Linda engage with the other department heads, Malik started to notice a recurring pattern. She excelled at showcasing a refined professional demeanor to those she considered significant, but she showed contempt for those she regarded as inferior. This duplicitous conduct harmed not only employee morale, but also the company's overall productivity and success. The sharp difference between Linda's outward image and her real self gave Malik feelings of betrayal. The senior teams entrusted her with many responsibilities. He viewed her as a representation of the values he believed should exist in the company. Now he had to realize that his team's assessment had been quite mistaken. As the day concluded, Malik couldn't help but dwell on what he had witnessed. The issues in this office were greater than he had understood. It wasn't merely the poor conduct of one manager. It was a significant problem that had developed during his tenure. Yet while playing his undercover part, he realized something unexpected. Tech Vision's largest strengths were visible all along. The bustling office space was filled with workers putting in effort, their expressions reflecting both resolve and pressure. From his new position at the reception desk, Malik started to observe patterns in people that he hadn't noticed previously. Two employees were notable: Angela, a senior accountant, and Henry from the IT division. Initially, they appeared unremarkable, simply another segment of the team. But as Malik watched them, he noticed something remarkable in their everyday behaviors. Angela frequently was the earliest to come in and the latest to depart. Her commitment was evident as she concentrated deeply on financial documents. One evening, while the office emptied and the cleaning crew started their tasks, Malik caught a conversation that caught his attention. "Angela, you're still around?" a coworker inquired, astonished. Angela glanced up and mentioned that she was merely completing quarterly reports. "They have to be flawless for the board meeting tomorrow." "But you have your daughter's recital tonight, don't you?" A pained expression appeared on Angela's face, yet she assured that she would compensate to her this weekend. When the colleague departed, Malik experienced a twinge of guilt. He was unaware of the sacrifices his entry-level staff were enduring, while many in higher positions were nearly cruel. Henry, however, was a beacon of positivity in a tense setting. Malik observed him as he navigated between desks, patiently addressing technical problems with a smile. However, it wasn't solely his IT abilities that amazed Malik. It was the way Henry elevated everyone's mood. One day, Malik observed an emotional moment. A new intern was battling with a malfunctioning computer, tears of frustration glistening in her eyes. Henry softly went up to her and stated that they would solve it together. For the subsequent hour, Henry remained with her. They not only resolved the issue, but also instructed the intern on fundamental troubleshooting techniques. His generosity was clear in every encounter. With time, Malik viewed Angela and Henry as more than mere workers. They became unseen foundations of Tech Vision, embodying the diligence, commitment, and empathy he sought in his business. Upon this realization, Malik experienced a concerning thought. Why had the team failed to recognize their remarkable qualities earlier? He realized that the issue lay with the company structure he had established and his reduced involvement. One day, Malik caught Angela speaking with a colleague. "I've missed out on a promotion 3 times, she expressed, showing her frustration. "I put in a lot of effort, yet it seems like you don't matter unless you're part of the right social group." Her statement deeply affected Malik. He had always thought that diligent effort ought to be acknowledged, yet perhaps TechVision's culture was hindering its top talent from advancing. Henry's circumstances were distinct, yet equally troubling. In spite of his skills and strong interpersonal abilities, he remained in an entry-level position, with his potential overlooked. Malik observed Henry managing a situation that should have required more seniority, pondering how many other staff members were similar to him. Malik carried on with his undercover tasks for a week, after which he came to a profound realization. TechVision was brimming with concealed talents such as Angela and Henry, workers whose abilities and commitment greatly surpassed their existing positions. The level of potential in his company was astonishing. Now Malik faced a fresh challenge: how to build a culture that genuinely acknowledged and nurtured talent at every level. How could he guarantee that commitment and talent were acknowledged no matter the social ties or prominence? Malik opted to convene an urgent meeting with his board and upper management team. He walked into the boardroom as Malik Johnson, the CEO, with a definite and concentrated intent. The group regarded him with a blend of astonishment and intrigue, oblivious to the complete scope of Malik's findings. "I appreciate everyone coming on such short notice," Malik started, his voice solemn. "I need to discuss some grave matters that have emerged. In the last week, I've been working undercover at the company, and what I discovered has been revealing and worrisome." He stopped, letting the significance of his comments resonate. The top executives shared uncomfortable looks. Malik went on. "Our business is encountering a crisis. Employee satisfaction has decreased by 15%, and I've discovered that our culture isn't as we envisioned. There is prevalent bias and a deficiency in acknowledgement for effort and ability." Linda, a manager Malik had been watching intently, fidgeted uneasily in her chair. Malik observed her unease, but stayed concentrated on his message. "We must tackle these problems directly. I've witnessed remarkable commitment from employees, such as Angela and Henry, who aren't getting the acknowledgement they rightfully merit. Our existing system is letting them down, and it's letting the company down." Malik's statement received a blend of defensive reactions and quietness. A few managers attempted to rationalize their behavior, whereas others appeared truly worried. Malik understood that transformation would not be simple, yet he was resolute in his commitment to pursue it. The initial step involved establishing a more transparent and equitable system for promotions and acknowledgement. Malik introduced a fresh framework in which employee performance and contributions would be assessed according to merit rather than social ties. He also established consistent feedback systems to guarantee that every employee was heard and could raise any problems they faced. As Malik remained in his office, contemplating the required transformations, an unforeseen knock on his door startled him from his musings. It was Linda. "Mr. Johnson," she started, her voice shaky. "There's something I must admit. It concerns the recent issues related to the toxic environment." Malik's heart raced. He anticipated opposition, but not this degree of terror. "Proceed," he stated, attempting to keep his calm. Linda inhaled deeply. "We've been controlled. You should be aware of the complaints and the decline in employee satisfaction. It wasn't merely internal problems. There was an external adversary, someone who has been spreading false information and causing chaos from the outside. Now more than ever, It's crucial to create a transparent and trust-filled work environment. If you agree, make sure to subscribe for more insights into transforming work culture. Before Malik could reply, Linda's phone vibrated. She looked at the screen, her complexion draining of color. "Oh no," she declared. "It's happening once more." She passed Malik her phone, displaying a video feed from a concealed security camera in the main office. The video was alarming. A troubling unknown individual wearing a black hoodie and mask was inside the office. He visited every employee's booth, intimidating them by exploiting their personal secrets to control them. The figure looked strangely recognizable. "Who is that?" Malik inquired, perplexed. Linda nodded negatively. "I'm not sure, but they have been causing people to behave poorly. They've been coercing workers with their private information, compelling them to sabotage things or risk being revealed." Malik's thoughts raced. If Linda was correct, then the troubles at TechVision were not solely due to internal factors. Someone was undermining the company from the outside. While Malik was attempting to grasp this new information, another knock echoed at the door. A man in a suit walked in, holding a briefcase. Malik identified him right away. It was Oliver Grant, a renowned investigator known for tackling significant fraud cases. "I'm here because I received an anonymous tip," Oliver stated assertively. "I suspect someone is undermining your company. The individual responsible for this possesses extensive insight into your operations and is leveraging that to create disorder." Oliver's comments further intensified the enigma. Malik recalled recent company choices and sensed he was beginning to recognize a trend. But who possessed the motive and ability to execute such a plan? Oliver opened a document and presented Malik with the proof. "We traced the interference to an ex-employee who was dismissed under questionable conditions last year. They've been harboring resentment and leveraging their expertise to sabotage your business." Malik shivered. The ex-employee was a senior analyst who had access to confidential information and understood TechVision thoroughly. "We also discovered a network of allies," Oliver went on. "They've been exploiting personal secrets to dominate and influence staff. It's all part of a scheme to undermine your leadership and tarnish the company's reputation." Malik discovered that the issues at TechVision were far more significant than he initially realized. The company faced attacks that portrayed its leadership as ineffective, while the actual issues remained concealed. Malik, together with Oliver, began investigating what was truly happening. They discovered additional evidence that a previous employee was behind all the issues and had assistance from others. It was revealed that the individual responsible for the sabotage was someone Malik had placed significant trust in. This ex-executive had been creating difficulties to retaliate against Malik and attempt to seize control of the company. This finding resulted in significant conflicts and legal problems to resolve everything. Malik also acted decisively. Certain employees, such as Linda, had been creating issues and concealing the problems. They had mistreated their colleagues and remained silent about the sabotage that was damaging the company. Malik initially handled Linda and the others who participated. He summoned them for meetings and presented evidence of their wrongdoing. Linda was told she would be punished for being unkind and for concealing what was occurring. Malik ensured they understood that such behavior was unacceptable. Linda and her peers faced significant repercussions. They received suspensions for a period and were required to undergo special training on appropriate workplace behavior. They were also required to apologize to their teams for the issues they created. Malik aimed to ensure that everyone recognized the serious consequences of rule violations and dishonesty. Conversely, Malik aimed to recognize the employees who had demonstrated honesty and diligence. Angela and Henry were two individuals who were remarkable. Angela put in a lot of effort and worked overtime, which led to her receiving a promotion and a salary increase. This new role acknowledged her dedication and the sacrifices she had endured. Henry, who had been extremely supportive and optimistic, received a new position in which he could oversee the IT team. He also received a raise and greater influence in significant decisions. Malik aimed to guarantee that Henry's abilities and optimistic demeanor were adequately appreciated to avoid issues like this down the line. For every comment, we commit to creating a more humane workplace. Engage with us. Let your voice inspire change. Malik additionally implemented new regulations for all at TechVision. These updated guidelines encompassed frequent gatherings for employees to provide feedback, improved methods for reporting issues, and increased acknowledgement of effort. Malik aimed to become more engaged and noticeable. Ready for more stories that challenge perceptions and ignite conversations? Don't forget to subscribe and turn on the notification bell so you never miss an update. He aimed to create a fair and supportive work environment where everyone felt appreciated and motivated. Through implementing these changes, Malik aimed to address the issues and improve TechVision as a workplace. He aimed to restore trust and guarantee that everyone had the opportunity to thrive and find happiness in their jobs. Malik was dedicated to guiding the company with integrity and equity, ensuring that all could collaborate in a supportive atmosphere. As Malik gazed at the city skyline, he sensed the burden of the last few days fade away. The crisis challenged him in unexpected ways, yet it reinforced his dedication to guiding TechVision with a renewed focus and a greater awareness of the dangers within his organization. And this is just the beginning. In our next video, we'll dive into an even more shocking tale of corporate secrets you won't believe. Stay tuned.